morning. Here's your 3x3 stories for the third week in March. Took a break last week, had an unexpected trip, but I'm back at it this week. I refuse to talk COVID-19. You can look elsewhere for that. What I'm trying to do is look beyond that and see where our energy future is going to take us long term. We need to prepare for that. So let's talk about some of the emerging synergies that are taking place and positive signs in the grid in that regard. Yeah, everything's going to slow down, but eventually it will pick up again. Let's pay attention to those things. So first, on-site batteries and solar integrating with the grid. We saw some interesting news last week from SunPower, where they indicated that they cleared almost 11 megawatts of capacity in ISO New England, aggregating almost 1,400 households, solar and battery systems with their Equinox home solar plus storage platform. It partnered with SunPower Energy, a demand-side energy management firm, and this is on the heels of last year's announcement from SunRun that it was had successfully bid 20 megawatts of capacity, batteries and solar behind the meter into ISO New England as well for 22-23 period. The SunPower one is 23-24. So expect two things here. First, we're going to see more solar plus storage. That's going to be the norm across the country increasingly. And second, these hybrid systems will increasingly be integrated and that capacity sold back into the grid. So we're going to see a little bit more convergence between those systems. Interestingly, another announcement I saw last week was not just batteries behind the meter in the house, but batteries on wheels, electric vehicles integrating with the grid in these vehicle-to-grid or V2G projects. So European transmission operator TenneT, energy provider Mobility House and Nissan completed their 2-year German vehicle-to-grid project to redistribute renewable energy. The goal was to deal with, to absorb surplus wind power in the north. At the same time, they were essentially, with other batteries, selling power into the south. So Germany has an interesting grid where there's a lot of wind along the North Sea, but the southern area doesn't have the same situation. And oftentimes they're having to fire up their coal plants in the south, even as they have surpluses in the north. So what they did was they took this approach. They had EVs store and inject electricity into the grid in both zones, absorbing wind during the surplus, particularly in the north, and then releasing when the grid needed it. And then in the south, having fully charged Nissan batteries feeding back into the grid instead of ramping fossil generation. Now these partners intend to widen that application more broadly to Europe, and TenneT is working on a European platform with other transmission system operators. They're not the only ones paying attention to this. VW's chief strategist said last week that it's eyeing new opportunities in storing and managing energy and said, quote, by 2025, we will have 350 gigawatt-hours worth of energy storage at our disposal through our electric car fleet. Between 2025 and 2030, this will grow to 1 terawatt-hours worth of storage, which they commented is worth more energy than is generated by the world's hydropower stations. German utility E.ON's also collaborating with Nissan in doing something similar. And then finally, to wrap up with a different kind of synergy, Big Oil taking its skills and further deploying those in offshore wind. French oil supermajor Total announced a commitment to the floating offshore wind sector in Wales, where they're going to build a 96 megawatt project coming into play, floating offshore wind, coming into play in the 2025-26 period in 70 meters of water, so about 220 feet, about 30 miles offshore in the Celtic Sea, which is estimated to hold a potential 50,000 megawatts of capacity. Total's CEO said this project, quote, confirmed its ambition to contribute to the development of renewable energy worldwide, and it plays to its expertise in offshore operations and maintenance. So again, here the synergy is these guys, many of the super majors, know how to put steel in the ground and steel in the water, and now they're going to be harvesting wind instead of hydrocarbons. Those are your stories for the week. Stay positive. We will get out of this, and we're going to see some slowdowns, but at the end of the day, the world needs these renewables, and they're going to happen. Till next week, thanks for watching.